country in the house. Ooh, wait, that shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the weekly Big Gamers Small Talk, and we've got actually everybody here in the house this week. Tim Dog was gone last week, missed the big award show, but we're back this week, and we got so much to talk about because we just had like the most laughable event. And I'm going to call out somebody that watches our show a lot, even though he's a big pony. Omazio, where you at, son? Because you motherfucker, you were like, hey, Omazio, whatever. Dude, you were the one that was like, hey, wait till E3, wait till Paris Games Week, wait till PSX, wait till this, wait till that, and we fucking wait. Now it's wait till next year, wait till where's The Last Guardian? Nowhere.
You gotta wait till this year's E3 come up.
Great. Yeah, wait till
that's
this.
When you're gonna see the big guns.
Yeah, that's what. Just wait till this, right? Hey, we saw exactly what Sony does best. They make you wait, and they get away with it. They were like, hey, let's come up with a real slogan. Greatness waits, right? Yeah. And then they just laughing at you motherfuckers, right? They're just laughing and laughing and laughing because you fuckers all fall for this every goddamn time. Hey. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Okay, and not only that, there's so much I want to say, right? I know you guys want to jump in here.
All of us want to say, bro. What are you talking about?
Check
you holding the mic?
I know, man. Hold on. Let me get the microphone back here for a second, right?
Hey, man, we can't even get in there. This is an outrage. Hey, hold on, everybody, hold on. Let's do this.
Listen, we better jump the fuck out of Sony right now. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold the phone. You know what Sony reminds me of? A motherfucking nut in the alley, got a coat full of gold chains. Like he got to say, Sony, somebody gonna kill Sony. I just saw that fake shit, man. Somebody gonna kill their ass, yo. You gonna put a motherfucking bacon flour. Somebody gonna kill their ass out there with that shit, man.
Did you guys see that thing, right? That Sean Layden guy, who I can't stand anyway. Yeah, he still wants to be Phil Spencer. He's wearing his little Crash Bandicoot shirt.
What's he don't Wolverine beard?
He don't understand.
He want to be Phil. We even had one person trying to be Larry Herb. Did you see the shirt? Did you see the shirt?
Yo, Sean Layden was so fat that Crash Bandicoot looked like the Walmart smiley face. That fucker.
My God, that shirt was hideous. Boy, he got Larry Herb.
You know what? I gotta say this, and maybe you guys can all agree with this. And I think, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, it is a business, and I get that. But what you have now in charge of Sony, they're not gamers. They are stick figures, are out to make $1, and they try to appeal and act like they're hip and they're cool. They wear the gamers T-shirts. That show right there, like I said, you wonder why. Well, Microsoft doesn't do experience, because if you don't have anything to show, you don't need that. Like, they did more harm than good. That show right there was worse than Microsoft's shit when they brought out the Kinect and everybody could dance on the stage with Usher and shit. That's how bad that shit was. Like, that was horrible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, man. You know, I know some people. Well, it's about the variety of games. Like, come on, man.
Variety, my ass.
Next
gen. There's two. We all like so want to like we're talking over.
I'm talking about to beat the fuck. We want to beat. Stand up, Sony. Fight me now, Sony.
Hey, look. There's two types. There's two types of Sony fans right now. There's the ones that admit that they hated that fucking conference, and the ones that are still afraid to admit it, but they absolutely hated it. You know what I mean? There's not a single person that can honestly look at themselves and say, "Hey, that was a good conference," or "That was worth my time," or that they don't want that time of their life back, because that was the most boring, asinine thing I've ever seen. And for Yoshida to sit there and pull shit out of his ass like, well, it was going to be for small titles and things like that. What the fuck? That's all they did. Paris Games Week, E3. That's all they do is small titles. So to say that, oh, it's going to be small titles, it's like I'm fucking flabbergasted.
Listen,
I'm like choking on my rage
God of War 4 is not coming out.
You don't get it. You get bound.
Indefinitely, you're not getting anything.
You get bound. That's what they're. If you get Fat Princess, whatever the hell that is.
Yo, I got news for you, man. This is the crowning, though. Is it not the crowning of what we've been talking about for the past 12 months?
You know what? We all should feel vindicated. We should have some fucking cheap wine, some barefoot. What you call that cheap shit? We all should sip out of flutes right now.
Chuck.
Like this is what BGST. We've been talking for the last 2 years. How long have we been on the show? 2 years.
Yeah.
And now you guys finally fucking see when not just reviews.
Well, this was also followed up too by the PS2, the backwards compatibility.
Yeah, but this. I mean, honestly, this Microsoft is sitting high right now. I mean, if like you guys talking about for the gamers and all that shit. I mean, this was really bad, man. Like Sony really went. Like they finally since they launched, their steps been guided by greatness, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And Microsoft was like playing catch up, but whatever the shit that they've done in the past. But I think now like real gamers, like that YouTube, the hardcore community, they can no longer turn a blind eye to that shit. So I've said this again, crap. Well, Sony does not have the money to focus, on the VR, the Gaikai, and give us AAA games. All that little other shit, that's the filler. Those indies, we didn't buy next generation consoles for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man.
You know what teed me off is that they invested so much into this dang on headset. Yeah. You would have thought this gaming lineup would have been knocking your wig off. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You know what I'm saying? What was that? It looked like, I'm telling you, man, it looked like somebody just went to the dang on pawn shop or something, man, and just put some stuff together like real quick. Like,
that's the
you know what I'm saying? And just put some duct tape around your head and here's some games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Showstopper, they're real close to putting this thing out for actual purchase, okay? The thing still looks like a monstrosity on people's heads. And then the game they show us is called, what is that thing called? Office Space? To like hang out in an office and fucking pretend to work in a computer space?
That wasn't the one that got me, man. The one that got me was the dang on bird game.
No, the soccer robot.
No, that golf game and that Brian. Hey, that fucking Brian Altano, that big PlayStation pony from IGN, tweets out, that game looks like it could actually be fun. And people are like, what the
all you do is in your headsets, flapping your dang on arms, looking like an idiot in the house. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be honest.
And you flying around looking at a scenery, man, and it had the nerve to have multiplayer. Y'all don't get it. There was 4 other people there.
Honestly, when I saw it, I was like, I was like, I was thinking it was going to be nice, and like you would see some nice, like maybe 360 graphics or something. That shit was like 1995. Some of the shit, I was like, what the fuck?
That was this ColecoVision shit there, bro.
Hey, because they have to run that at like what 60, 90 frames per second.
No, you have to do it 60 frames per second, 1080p both eyes. So you have to
120 frames.
120 frames per second. So whatever. To do that, you've got to sacrifice your visuals and things like that. So you're getting like PS2. You're getting like terrible.
Crap. You know what we said a year ago?
We did.
And again, I got voted. This was the whole saying. You guys said I always said I'm a faggot that loves gadgets. This is where it came from, and because I buy all the new shit. And once I found that it wasn't going to have next generation graphics, and I was like, and I started checking into this shit. Like I can't buy this shit here. Like I'm just being real. Like, you know what? Microsoft right now, they're probably sitting back, fucking laughing their ass.
You know what this? It's the Kinect with headsets.
That's all that is.
But the difference is the Kinect was mass adopted. This is not adopted.
This is Kinect with headsets, man. That's all that is.
Because nobody's going to spend $500 on this shit.
You have maybe a 12-year range of people that are going to buy this, like from 18 to 30. I don't think older people are buying this.
No, I know.
I ain't finna sit here and be in no house flapping my arms with no 2 light moves like a bird and sitting here looking like an idiot. I'm not finna do that trick.
On PS1 graphics.
Yeah, you know what? Not even so much that. I think that we've all the motion control gaming phase and when all that shit has come and gone. You know what I mean? Yeah. People said this generation they wanted a gaming device. We wanted, get back to. We all love the features, the multi, it's all about the Xbox One, with the multitasking. But at core, we want a gaming device, and this is where you guys' budget is going for your AAAs, for your Cypher filters, for your real life Gran Turismos, for your God of Wars. That's where the money is going. And that was cool if Sony still was able to give us, the meat and the potatoes, and they did that shit as fucking, ice cream and on the side. But that's it, and that right there, I think, is where Microsoft is going to gain a lot of ground. Microsoft, is keep going from where they're going now. You got a great this year, Then next year's fucking phenomenal. I don't know what's coming out in 2017. We'll hear about that at next E3. All they had to keep doing this, and like I said, they're still in the race. I'm sorry, they're still in the fucking race. You know what I mean?
With the show, what stuck out to me was when they first started out, man, they started off cooking. Uncharted, all that, man, that game looked nice. And then it started. It was a remaster. It started with Final Fantasy VII as a remaster. You know what I'm saying? Then it started coming the remasters to start rolling off from there, didn't it? It was just like a whole bunch of them. Like,
but you can't keep that quiet though. That was they tried to say that was the highlight of the show, but that's a multi coming to the Xbox.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I was smiling for a minute, like, oh man, they cooking. Then all of a sudden, my smile was like, hold on, this is not a dang on remasters. How many of these remasters we gonna have?
You're getting Vita remasters, PS8. Not only that, but throw in the mix of all this pissing that Sony's doing. They're like, hey, we're going to give you guys backwards compatibility with PS2. And people are like, yay! And then you fucking find out $15 a pop for the same looking game.
I like the reactions. That was the messages that was to Yoshida, man. They were sitting here like, at least that you consider it.
He's like, sorry.
We're sorry.
We're missing something even bigger. We're missing something even bigger here. You had Uncharted 4 come out without any gameplay, and we're 3 months away. It was another cutscene.
Yeah.
Come on, man, please.
You know what? But
Vegas, is that your Vegas had odds 2-1 that shit was gonna freeze on stage.
Hey, yo. Even with the cutscene, we can all see that game has gotten a downgrade visually. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not, and I'm not. This is not saying the game may not be fun.
No, it's gonna be fun.
When they first showed, and I said before, then Sony does good at it. I mean, it's a business. For years they showed the PC version, they give us the console version when you buy it. Cool, but. I was gonna say this. Quantum Break. I'm gonna say right now. I'm taking a bit. It's going to fucking rape fucking Uncharted. It's going to fucking rape Uncharted. I bullshit you not. 2016 for Microsoft is going to be fucking huge, man. And like I said, I don't know what they can do to capitalize on that in 2017. You know what I mean? But this right there, Microsoft Sony, by them being greedy, I don't know, or whatever the fuck the case may be. They really shot this open both for people, you know what I mean? Because I don't know how they can bounce back from that shit right there, man. Because they got to go. Listen, it's not even that they can't give their fans, backwards compatibility. And I told you how I feel about the backwards compatibility, but they can't afford to because they spent over $350 million on Gaikai. You understand that? They have to make that. It's a business. You know what I mean?
What though, Zaire? Listen, I'm done. I am done. And on my channel and on BGST, I am done giving Sony any credit. And let me explain why. These are things that don't happen when Microsoft either they talk on social media or they do something that's going to be coming up in the next 12 months. That's something like their PSX version. Okay. Before the show started, we were talking about this offline. Before the show started, Joffrey, and guys, correct me please if I'm wrong. Joffrey is the one that did. What's his name there? He did God of War.
David Jaffe.
Jaffe. He went ahead and tweeted out. Now, how in the hell am I supposed to present God of War 4 from my seat back here? And the picture was taken on Twitter from maybe 15, 20, 30 rows back. I replied to him because you're not gonna present shit because you're sitting with the NAC 2 development team. But, okay, here's my point. Who in God's green earth on Microsoft's development team, first party or etc., would ever troll their own audience like that? This is the kind of scumbag, disgust. That's why. Don't give Adam Boyes any credit ever. Don't give Andy House any credit ever. Don't put Sean Layden gets on there with a Crash Bandicoot shirt and they don't even talk about it. What are you doing to your fan base besides pulling them along on a?
They're giving them a Cleveland steamer.
They are. They're putting a loop around somebody's tooth, and they're fucking slamming the door and pulling it out. Fuckers. These are the most scumbag group of executives I've ever met in my life. You can never operate a business this way. And you have these 10,000 people in line clapping, lighting matches. People are fainting from fucking Final Fantasy VII. Are you guys out of your mind? Are you really excited to go grab something that old? The Last Guardian? Are you that excited? Phil Spencer's putting billions with a B B as in boy, billions into his first-party IPs. Yeah. Give the man respect, and let's stop giving respect where it's not due. Sony put on an absolute disgrace, and anybody who paid in there, they should have lit that place on fire and kicked the speakers over.
Hey, this is my point. I gotta get it here. The backwards emulation thing with the price. You know what? This whole generation been around. It's been around 1080p, 60 frames per second.
That's right.
In sales.
That's right.
Sony only gave them what their fan base really wanted. You know what I'm saying? So they making them pay for these games over again.
Damn.
And upgrading them for 1080p and some dang on trophies. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they've been sitting here. We want 1080p. We want 1080p. Now they making y'all charge for the stuff. They charging y'all for the games because they upgraded them. This is why they're not giving y'all to be able to do the discs and everything like that. Is because they're giving y'all what y'all asked for. 1080p? Y'all asked for 1080p. Y'all, and this is what they offering y'all, but y'all gonna have to pay for it now. You know what I'm saying? And that to me, I think is just really. This generation shouldn't even been about 1080p. It shouldn't have been about none of that. It should have been always about the games. But it's not about the games. It was about all this other little stuff. And now Sony thinking this is what y'all want, and this is what they offering y'all. So
now the Sony fans pretended that they liked that they wanted that.
That's what they wanted. Yeah. Now y'all don't want it now because y'all have to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I do also think that if Microsoft wasn't, Microsoft's putting pressure on them too because. With the backwards compatibility, they would have got away with all that shit.
Yeah, they would have.
With the pricing, that would have been defended.
That's a smart move.
You know,
what? I got to give, not to cut you off, Tim. I got to give credit where credit. Whoever bring, because now I kind of downplayed it. Remember doing E3 and all. I don't really care about backwards compatibility, and the fact that they're doing it now and Sony has to charge for it, that really is a big stick in your ass. Like
consumer.
Yeah. I'm sorry to finish, bro.
Yeah, no, like it's a consumer thing. That's what it is, and backwards compatibility is more popular than I think people really thought it was. It's popular. I mean, for whatever reason, it might not have been popular last gen. It's popular this gen. So when you
Tim, it was. I know. Damn it, I'm cutting you off, but it was popular last gen in the beginning. Remember, but then Sony dropped it.
Right.
And Microsoft's emulation wasn't great on the 360 for the original. Plus, the original Xbox wasn't as widely adopted as the 360.
Yes.
When you only got like 22, 23 million Xboxes out there, 24. Compared to 90 million 360s.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing is that the and we've went over this. The focus and we've hit home, and now it's really starting to hit home to them, to the Sony fans who said we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. Xbox is pushing games first narrative. Yeah. There is nothing else in the way. Not HoloLens, not anything else in the way. It's only going to be about AAA exclusives. It's only going to be about first party. It's going to be about games that, the cloud, things that change, that can change gaming and make it better. I'm sorry, that VR shit, that's called an anchor. People said that the Xbox One had an anchor with Kinect. Well, guess what? Sony now has its anchor. They have to support that. They would have been better off just doing what Microsoft's doing, saying games, never doing any of this VR, because the VR is going to, I don't think it's going to do well, and it's going to be another black hole on their economics. And that means...
I can see... I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
But what that means is, you might get 2 AAAs, but Xbox is going to get 6. You look at 2016... There's no denying that, and people are seeing that, and that's why.
Can you name those games for me, please? Just.
We got Quantum Break, Killer Instinct, Season 2.
Say it slow. Let it roll up your tongue. We got Quantum Break. Announce it.
Quantum Break. Fable Legends, which I just played. I mean, that's not a AAA, but it's a free play. But I just played that last night, and let me tell you.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Day one. What I have day fucking one about.
You probably have Fable Legends in January. In February,
Gigantic got delayed as well.
Right. So let's just say Gigantic in February. In March, you're gonna have Killer Instinct Season 3. In April, you're gonna have Quantum Break.
Game of the year.
Yeah. In summer, you're gonna have Halo Wars.
Halo Wars in the summer?
Halo Wars 2. I don't know exactly.
Well, let's just say I'm just saying.
Crackdown in the summer. Crackdown summer.
Crackdown 3 multiplayer cloud compute in the summer. We're going to be the first to be trying that out. Revolutionary type thing with the destruction.
Hey, Recore's still on the docket too.
Oh, yeah, Recore's at the beginning of the year.
You're gonna for Forza Horizon 3.
September.
Okay, you're gonna get Gears 4.
Probably October or November.
Right.
Scalebound December.
Scalebound. And that's just the AAAs. I mean, that is.
Hey, there's also Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Another one.
Hey, wait, it's not fair. Wait, this is not fair. This really isn't fair anymore.
But then you also have the ID at Xbox games, which
you even have Cuphead, which is
not fair anymore.
You know Cuphead.
Yeah.
Tacoma, Ashen.
But the difference between us and them, we're not really counting Cuphead.
No.
We're not, You know what I mean? Because again, we don't.
No.
And I'm not taking nothing away for those who like those games, but
but we don't have to, Zaire. We don't have to do that.
It's about 7 AAAs we're getting.
But you can't defend that anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Now you're really, you're giving Sony how many 3-4 years in the market, and we all still waiting, and it's going to be the same thing for next Christmas. You're not going to have any AAAs next Christmas because you're going to have VR.
Yeah, and they didn't show. And anyway, where's The Last Guardian or Horizon? They're not showing off these games.
That's Horizon's not coming out next year. That's going to be 2017, which is. Yeah. And I hope and don't get me wrong. I hope it's a fun game because again, given Guerrilla Games' track records, they make pretty games but not fun games. And just to tack back on again about the last generation backwards compatibility, it wasn't so much with Sony, even though Sony took it away from the fat gig or whatever. The fat PS3. And, of course, with Microsoft. But we were swept off our feet by HD graphics. That would usher in. We didn't want to play those. Oh, no, it's all about the HD, whatever. That's what kind of happened with the backwards compatibility last generation.
I agree. This generation's not that big of a jump.
We're used to it, but that was our first jump into HD graphics. The 720. That's what happened with the backwards compatibility. But, it is what it is, but and like I said, I think a lot of people pay our shows a bunch of hate and a bunch of morons and all, but we give our opinions. Don't get me wrong, whether you love us or hate us, there's always some, whether you like it or not. Like I remember last week when I said that Sony was going to charge you for backward, even though Sony didn't come out and admit it, it's just called common sense. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it means not to say that we predict this because I don't think going to be. I predict this. You remember we got so much shit about the DX12. Some things are just common sense. It's business 101. Like what I mean? Like I said before, Sony's out there, motherfucker. Like you see two motherfuckers out there want to fight, ain't nobody throw a punch. It's round 15. Sony ain't throw a punch yet. Like doing a whole bunch of sound effects, ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? Walking around and
you know what I would love to see, Zaire? I'd have loved to be in that meeting when they had this list of games for this VR headset, man, because I know Yoshida was in there like, we're about to make millions!
Them games trash. Yeah. You know what? I don't think they maybe feel too confident now at the backlash, because, it's been, how long we've given Sony? And I know we know, listen, we may be a little biased, we're not as big as Xbox fans, we are PlayStation fans. I get it, but again, we how should I say this? With a straight face, no one plopped down $400 to play games that we played last generation with all these remakes and remasters. Yeah. I don't care how you spend what you like, Nintendo, PC. We were just in that generation for 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't do that for that, you know what I mean? No. And I don't need no more remasters from Microsoft. I bought a next generation console to play next generation games and next generation experiences. You know what I mean? And that peripheral there, that's what remember, they said this would make Sony so effective because it was for the hardcore gamer. And here they go with this fucking prop. This
and then honestly, like, if you're a fucking executive and you do a rehearsal and you see this fucking shit show, how do you not say, what the, like, let's not show that? Like, honestly, like, that's what gets me.
Are you asking me honestly? Because you know why? Because Sony has done no wrong. What have they done since launch? Honestly, like this
is the first time I've ever seen them. Here.
What have they done? You know what I mean?
What makes Sony a better product right now? If you have $400 in your pocket and you have to walk into a store,
what have they done since then?
Better.
You know what? I've seen a lot. They fell on the games that came out of Japan, but we all know they don't support those games anymore. Mm-hmm. So they really excluded, when they showed that they're not supporting these games, they really excluded a lot of their lists, a lot of games on their list.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these games that they are hyped about, they are sitting here saying, oh, I can't wait for this to come out. I can't wait for this to come out. But when your support shows by you going out supporting it. And it's not adding up with 30 million, man, people on there, and you seeing it at 35,000. That's like the magic number for these dang on games. 35,000.
Showstopper. I did the math on one of my videos. Okay, let's just play conservative. I'm not going to get all Xbox fanboy on everybody. You take the 400 million number that Xbox released after Halo 5's release on a conservative number, even if we're talking 3 million in software sales. The biggest competitor we have is Bloodborne, and it was months after it was 2 million. Months. This is 6 business days. We are talking about a higher caliber customer. Microsoft is well aware of it. They know that they're catching up. People have been tweeting Zaire all day today and yesterday, and myself and you guys. And I don't like to bring it up because we always discredit VG charts, and I will discredit it even now. I'm about to say a figure, and it's not credible. It is not credible. But if the ponies are going to use it, I'm only going to use it in an argument. Microsoft in the North America won 863,000 to 740-something thousand over them, according to VG charts in the month of November. That, I think, is bullshit, by the way. I think Microsoft won by a whole lot more. So my whole point is this. Sony has got to stop with this nonsense, this ridiculousness that they are owning the market. Because you just said it, Joe. I'm piggybacking to what you're saying. You're talking about the fact that there's 30.2 million owners of a PS4, and there's not nearly that number on PS Plus. There's not nearly that number buying the games. So where are these people? Who are these people?
You listen. I mean, the sad thing is, they give you a month or so free. They ain't even trying that trash. I don't think.
No. It's crazy. It's not even so much that. Like I told you guys before, I had a little mom and pop store years and years ago, and that 30 whatever, and that's if it is, because we all know Sony has gotten in trouble before for inflation with their numbers. Like Sony's horrendous for that. You know what I mean? And it's called, you sell them to retail. And I'm not saying that people think that there are 30 million PlayStations in owned, because no, your software sales and your PlayStation Plus numbers do not support that. No longer is it free to play online. And I've been saying this shit for a year and a half. If you got barely 11 million between the PlayStation 3, the Vita, and the motherfucking PlayStation 4, and you mean to tell me that you sold 25 million consoles, PS4s? Like, come on, you ain't got to be the sharpest knife in the drawer. Like, come on. We got to stop with all this that Sony's outplacing Microsoft 3-1, 4-1. We see listen, again, I'm going to say this again. This is Reaganomics 101 here in the crack era. North America is listen to what I'm saying. I know people like thinking I'm uneducated and all this shit right here. I'm going to break it down for you like this. North America is the biggest consumer of anything. We see the NPDs every month. With Sony, they win by 16,000, 17,000, whatever the case. And you take all those little small territories in Europe. Now, you know what I mean? They make, Lucas Avalia, Transylvania may do 16,000 for the month and all that shit right there. You know what I mean? But Microsoft has never had a foothold in Japan. Never. They sell 100 con units there a fucking week to the fucking Navy or something. You know what I mean? Okay, it's been real. You know what I mean? So, If Microsoft released these figures for this week, Major Nelson said that Black Friday sales were up 22%,
which they did over 1 million last Black Friday. So
again,
you know that the VG charts bullshit even more so.
You understand what I'm saying? They still think, and again, I said it to say this, and people in these extremist minds, they act like Microsoft and Sony cannot coexist, or that both of them cannot sell. They makes them, I guess, people want to validate their purchase that they think that the PlayStation is wiping the floor up with the Xbox One. That is not the fucking case, because if it was wiping the floor with the Xbox One, we would see it in the NPDs. You know what I mean? and it's 5,000 one month, 12,000 this month. Like, come on, man. They're both selling well. You know, there were no losers last generations. With both, you know, the Xbox and over 90 million, the Wii. It's never been a console generation that's ever been so successful. And at the end of this year, most people are going to own both platforms, both the PS4 and the Xbox One. But you guys keep spouting up this 30 million. It doesn't reflect on your software sales. These people are buying these fucking consoles and not buying no goddamn games. Like, come on, you know, like look, you see the numbers. Like numbers, how you say, men lie, women lie. Numbers do not fucking lie. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. You got 12 million, 13 million between 3 platforms, and you sold 30 million fucking units. Come on, stop it.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, they might have 30 million, but the results of what they're giving the fans is not 30 million. You know what I mean? That's my argument to them. Is like, yeah, you could tout 30 million and you could tout 2-1, but what's it doing for you? Yeah. You got some asshole on stage with ice cream.
With tinfoil on his head and junk. What the fuck was that? Was this the My Head Club or something? I mean, goodness,
they dropped some acid before that show. What the fuck?
You heard even GameSpot called them out. They said
it's horrible.
Sony's VR disaster. Someone said it to me on Twitter. Even you know it's bad when GameSpot called them out. They said Sony's VR disaster. And had the video up here.
Not those scumbags IGN who had a three guy panel that were fucking you know. They were like, oh well, maybe they should bundle some games because you know it could be really cool and it doesn't demo well. Like all these fucking damage control.
Yeah, me and like, Tim we were going back and forth with that. Isn't that ridiculous what we saw? I can't believe I witnessed it.
Anybody who saw the 3 panel of the jerk off in the jacket on the right who's looked like somebody stole his kid. He's crying like you know. This asshole in the middle who's like, yeah. I mean, like, honestly, it looked like shit. Call it like it is. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Even the hardcore Sony fan was like, "What the fuck was that?"
I just want to say this too, right? Like I noticed that, right? We all saw how bad it was, but on my Twitter feed, you had everybody going, "Wow, Fat Princess, I can't wait, guns up!" And I'm like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" You know what I mean? What is this stuff? Yeah, I'm like, "Are you guys serious? How can the media try to hype up this bullshit? It's utterly insane." And not only that, I just want to go back to Sean Layden real quick because that guy is a total jackass. And what he reminded me of, I know Mooch is usually the guy who does comparisons, right? But this is what that reminded me of. Like he's wearing the Crash shirt. He wants to be Phil so bad because Phil's cool. You know, first of all, the dude has to get in better shape because Phil's ripped. You know, so secondly,
whoa, pause. But go ahead though.
Hold on. He does. He works out, man. But anyway, okay, first of all, I want to say this, all right? Like, I don't know if you guys remember the old Batman Forever. It was the Val Kilmer movie with Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Yeah. Like, during that movie, Jim Carrey's character totally wants to be Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne, to the point where he dresses in the exact same suit, cuts his hair the same, and even gets a fake mole put in the same spot that Bruce Wayne has, right? That's what Sean Layden reminds me of. He wants to be Phil Spencer so bad, and he just can't pull it off because he's not cool enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's just a total douche. And what he did was he doesn't understand that Phil wears the shirts to kind of hint at things that Xbox is doing. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to be cool and wear a Crash Bandicoot shirt. Because this is the second goddamn PSX in a row where Sony fucked over their fans. Remember this Final Fantasy announcement last year? They're like, Final Fantasy, and it was just like a big troll. This year, they're like, oh, here's a fucking Crash Bandicoot shirt. And same thing, like that Kaz Hirai parody account tweets out, yeah, here's the next shirt he's going to wear. The ability to change your name on PSN. Yeah. Like, I fucking love that, man. You know what I mean?
They don't even own that IP. That's Activision's.
I know. So they can't do it. They couldn't even get it in PlayStation All-Stars.
Yeah. You know what? At the end of the day, like you said, we do got E3. Like, I don't, man. It's, man, my God. I don't know. I started saying that Sony, I don't, I know. No, I'm sorry. I don't think we're going to get a God of War. Maybe.
Crap. I mean, Z, listen to me for a second. People were hitting me up on Twitter before PSX, and they're like, don't you understand, Mooch? This is a big deal. This. I said, wait, you're telling me that E3, the biggest stage...
Hey, hold on. We got to get a proper intro. We got somebody in here to defend Sony.
Yo, I just wanted to let you guys know, did you hear about the new movie that's...
Oh, Rory! What's up, Rory?
Did you hear about the new movie that Sony's funding?
What?
What's that?
It's called Indy's Anna Jones. And
Oh shit!
Oh man!
Oh shit!
Worry Wart just lost 100 followers on Twitter.
His joke will be trending.
0 now, right?
Yeah.
Start from scratch, bro. Come to the Xbox side.
What? Or you're just joining. Let's get your honest. What did you feel about all the VR and also? What did you feel about it?
The VR I thought was really bad. I was excited for VR. Whenever I see a show and it makes me less excited for something, that's bad. I was excited for VR, but it just looked really bad. It reminded me, if the whole purpose of VR is to just make something more first person, you know what I mean? Like if you're playing a first person game, then you put a headset on and it's closer to you, that's not VR.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like. It looked like a lot of stuff that was just shoehorned into VR rather than just making me feel like I'm in a world like VR is supposed to be.
You know, I think they're going, instead of quality, more quantity. Even the Bloodborne game, or a roller coaster game, cowboys shoot 'em up.
What was the roller coaster?
Not Bloodborne. I'm sorry.
Scream Ride.
The order 18. No, the order 1886 on. They got a blood. It's called Blood something. They got a sequel to the order 1886.
No, they don't, do they?
Yeah, they do. It's like you're on a fucking roller coaster shooting werewolves. Some bullshit. Like, you know, how much are they charging? Are they charging $65 for these games?
I think so. I mean, they're charging $500 for the damn thing, or $400, or whatever it is.
No, I don't know who's honestly who's the intended market for this. It can't be the casual. I mean, who's it for?
I'm gonna tell you, it don't look good. That VR, VR was bad, and when I say it was bad.
It did look bad.
It was bad. I mean, even when they was doing when they had the two dudes playing tennis or whatever, or pong or whatever that was, it looked like something from Tron, and they were throwing their little discs and stuff at each other.
You know, the only two things I saw with the VR that I kind of was interested in was that Ubisoft game where you're kind of flying like the eagle.
I didn't see. That's the game I was sitting here laughing at with the eagle.
Yeah, that's like a sim.
I'm not flying around in the house with arms. Like no freaking bird.
That's a sim, though.
It had multiplayer on it. I ain't like that. But go ahead, Worry.
Yeah, it's a sim. Tim's right. It's a sim.
Yeah.
Did they show what's that? No Man's Sky? Did that get shown?
No, they didn't talk about that at all.
Wow. Again, like I said,
they brought it up, but they ain't talked.
Well, whatever the case may be, you know, it's like we've been, and I've said this before, and again, that it's going to be the same thing next holiday season. Sony's going to piggyback off Call of Duty, whatever the big
Destiny 2.
I think people were waiting for like they announced a lot of the stuff that we already knew about. You know what I mean? Like Uncharted 4. What's the other big one? Street Fighter. Yep. Street Fighter is going to be big. Final Fantasy 7 obviously is going to be big for them.
Yeah, but it's
multi-plat.
It's coming to Xbox, right?
Yeah. Okay, but by the way, they didn't berate Sony about if that was going to be a multi-plat or not, right? Like they did with Tomb Raider and all that other stuff.
How long's the exclusive, guys? How long's the exclusive, guys?
They're taking pre-orders for it right now.
How long's the exclusive for, guys? How long's the exclusive for?
Do you think Final Fantasy 7 is going to do well on the Xbox?
No.
I'm not interested in playing.
Zaire, I don't think it's going to do well on the PlayStation.
I'm not interested in playing games that I've done. I bought a next-gen console. Maybe I'm the only fool out there. I did look for love. I'm looking for love in all the wrong places, man. I'm the type of motherfucker to go to the strip bar and fall in love with the woman that gives me the lap dance. All right, I want to make an honest woman out of her. That's what I'm trying to do with my PlayStation 4.
They make the insane or the
they have female strippers at the gay bar.
Yeah, whatever. I'm the motherfucker that goes to the gay bar and falls in love with the trailer.
I thought he had a midget fetish, man. You know he got one on his face.
I'm that dude right
One lady showed people crying about Final Fantasy 7 on stage. Those are the people that are going to buy this product. It's not going to be people like me and you.
Hey.
They've had Devil May Cry. These other games come out recently. Those are Sony known games. Guess what? Nobody's buying those games in droves. It's just a number that they like to. Same thing with Last Guardian. And same thing even goes for Shenmue 3. That's not going to get big numbers. It's going to sell 1 million tops. When you have 30, 40, 50 million install base, 1.5 million in sales is bupkis. It's nothing to talk about. They just make a big deal of it on stage, and then you have the Greg Millers and all the other people just like drooling over it with their fucking pink tie and their checkered shirt on, talking about it afterwards, saying how great it is. It's all the media just harping in people's ear. Like when you talk to somebody on the street and you go, have you heard of The Last Guardian? Yeah, I heard Sony's coming out with it on PS4. Yeah, are you buying it? No.
So
nobody's buying that shit.
So are you saying that Final Fantasy VII is going to be a success?
I'm saying it's going to be awful.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, you know what?
think it'll
Final
do well.
Fantasy VII is going to do well in Japan. Like, and there are a couple million units of PS4 in there, so you could probably count on it probably hitting a million mark.
Yeah, 1.2, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Crap, I'll give you that.
That's worldwide, but we talk like over here, it's not gonna do that.
United States don't give
I
a
don't.
shit.
Again, like I said, call me that blind fool, that old fart that goes to the fucking strip club that wants to make an honest woman. I don't want PlayStation 4. That's all that I want.
You won't have people dissecting the first week of fucking sales in UK and declare it a failure. You won't have that like they did with Tomb Raider.
Microsoft doesn't get a fair shake. You know, we can talk about that shit till the cows go.
How did Tomb Raider do it? Did it do well?
Nobody knows. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
It said
they're not taking
300,000.
it. There are a lot of people that buy their games digitally this generation. That's not us damage controlling. That's the truth.
Yeah, why don't they track digital though? You know what? I see a lot of developers say that they had high digital sales. If they know what their sales are digitally, why aren't they tracked?
Yeah.
Well, it's up to Microsoft and Sony.
I think they can't announce it because that's tax free, ain't it? Ain't digital tax free?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Microsoft,
something like that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's tax free, so they can't announce it. So that's something else.
I think it's something that is to do with the taxes. I've heard that before.
I don't know if it's tax free. Don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking it's something to do with the taxes, though. Let me straighten that up because you got YouTube detectives out there.
Oh shit! What you talking about?
No, we gonna move past. But what did y'all like about the PlayStation experience?
Nothing.
Y'all ain't like none of the games?
No.
I like Ratchet. Ratchet, I really like.
I'll give you Ratchet. But is Ratchet not a remake?
It's a reimagining of the first game.
Yeah, it started as a remake of the first game, but then Ted Price was saying there was content added
I'll
to it.
give you Ratchet.
Yeah, and I like
Ratchet's it's $40 too, so that's.
I'll buy Ratchet.
I liked Uncharted. I'm going to get Uncharted.
I'm buying Uncharted. But my problem, Rory, with Uncharted, to answer your question though, or show if you asked it, was that they didn't. We're 3 months away. You still didn't. All I've seen is them run through a fucking crowded square and then do a Jeep run. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I seen a 900p multiplayer that now has magic spells in it, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, listen, you're 3 months away, and I have no idea. People were giving Halo 5 shit because they were like, wait a minute, Hunt the Truth is not really hunting anything. What the fuck is Uncharted talking about? You have magic spells? And a brother who came from nowhere that nobody even knew was in the story? The guy's all crying about his brother, and I'm like, who the fuck's this guy?
It's shoehorn.
Well, did you guys hear about the controversy that went on with?
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous, don't you think?
What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened was the black girl, the new character.
Yes.
She's done by a white woman.
Racism!
Yeah,
racism! Racism!
They were
Well,
I
I heard that crap had a lot to do with that contract.
Well, see, the black female protagonist.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's how many people do Russian accents?
Hey, just so you guys are keeping track, the guy who played Kermit the Frog wasn't green.
Oh, and he wasn't a frog.
Who gives a shit? Like, it's
and it's okay that there's a stormtrooper that's a black guy in Star Wars.
Exactly. Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, like, as far as I'm concerned, right? Look, so how long has Sony been doing the Uncharted 4 hype? They announced Uncharted 4 at the PlayStation 4 launch party, right? Basically, this is their big game. I mean, everybody can sit there and make excuses and say, well, this other game is big, but this is their biggest game. what happens when this game finally rolls out? What's going to be their next big thing to fool people on for 3 years? Because think about it, that's exactly what they've been doing. Guys, wait, trust us. Uncharted 4. I swear, Uncharted 4, guys. I swear. This time,
God of War will be announced.
You don't think there's going to be a God of War? Or
I do. What, 2017 or later?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. When Sean Layden came out with the Crash Bandicoot shirt, I thought that they would end the show with Crash. But I think by him wearing that shirt, you're going to hear about that game at E3 2016 because I think Vivendi has the rights to Crash, and I think they've been trying to get the rights back.
Well, no, it's Activision who has the rights. Yeah. But Activision is supposedly working on a game that's going to be multi-plat. So,
Crash?
Yeah.
But let's ask you a question though. I mean, call me. I'm 37 years old, little green. That doesn't have any interest in me whatsoever. I don't want to fucking play. And you guys listening, listen, half you motherfuckers never even played Crash Bandicoot, so knock it the fuck off. You never had a PlayStation.
Or they played the shitty, really shitty ones.
So bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like what Super Mario NES was a fucking classic, and none of you guys ever fucking played it. So they'll come up with something that I wouldn't buy. It's something that's I don't care about playing Crash game. I'm sorry, jumping around and the orange monkey breaking boxes. What the fuck is that? I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think it's nostalgia. Sometimes nostalgia connects, and then sometimes it doesn't.
Give me God of War 4.
Yeah, I'll take God of War all day.
Or how about a real
Sony
Gran
Ben's
Turismo?
gonna have that's gonna be 2018, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, look, that Gran Turismo. I said, how about a real Gran Turismo instead of
that's gonna come out late.
Yeah, why does it take them so long? It's like they're getting skunked by Forza. You know what I mean? Like, literally.
Why is it taking so long? Once we answer this question again, because you got that fucking fishbowl that's coming out fucking next Christmas.
You say fishbowl?
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, let's be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to start being realistic with ourselves, man. You know, and this was worse than I didn't, Microsoft E3 2013.
Well, I definitely agree with you on the VR. I was really excited for VR, and what they showed really got me down.
Off of it.
Yeah, it really got me down.
Me too.
You gonna pay $500 for that?
I thought it was gonna be. I hope does Oculus look like that? Too?
No, hell no.
I want it to look good. I want it to look like
Microsoft's pairing with Oculus because they're the front runner and they don't have to pay for the hardware.
Yeah.
It's a smart move, and once listen, we all know whether it's next year or the year after, Steam's going to be playable on Xbox One and vice versa. Yeah. That's what we're doing. And VR is going to be better on Xbox One with Oculus Rift. They've already got a partnership. Sony is in trouble on more accounts than just one. They have to make all of their VR games first party. Microsoft doesn't have to make any VR game.
Microsoft can walk away
with
from
Microsoft
it
getting the Steam. I'm sorry.
Is that confirmed? The Steam?
No.
All I'm saying, Worry, is basically if you could play your Xbox games on PC.
Yeah, you better stream your PC games on your
handcuff yourself and not say you can't do vice versa.
You stream your PS. I mean, I
would love that.
Stream your PC games on your Xbox. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. If you,
as the famous Lauryn Hill said, "Ready or not, here it comes. It's coming, baby. It's on the way. There's no way around it. It's vice versa."
Well, that's what that guy said last night in the strip bar to Zaire.
You know what? Ready or not, here it comes. The CEO of Microsoft, Nadella, said that your Xbox One is a Windows 10 device computer. At the end of the day, so if for those of you guys that want to boot up and play stream your PC games to your Xbox One, most likely I don't see why not. You can stream your Xbox One to your PC. Now, there's a difference.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but come on,
no. Here's the difference. We still different though. You're not gonna be able to buy.
Joe said this, and y'all
no. This is what you said.
I didn't argue.
No, this is what you said. You said that you'll be able to buy Steam games.
I said you still will be. You have to purchase those games still.
No, not on the Xbox One.
It could still be just Windows 10 games. It could just be you could play if you have Windows 10 games.
Everything is played on Microsoft. Just about
Let me ask you a question though. Are you talking about streaming from Steam to the Xbox?
That's a big difference there. You're not going to be able to go into the Steam store and the app, and then that's Microsoft doesn't get any money from that. They're selling games on their console, so why the fuck would they allow you to buy games on another platform? You know what I mean? Now, stream them to your PC and your console. I'm not negating that. That's on the way. But you're not going to be able to buy Steam games on your Xbox One and for $2, and Microsoft is on the Call of Duty for $60, and you better buy. No, it's not going to work like that. That's no way now. You know what I mean? You're still going to have a rig.
Yeah, I still think anybody that thinks this is going to be like that you're going to be able to play your entire Steam library or any game off your PC on your Xbox One, it's not going to be like that.
But back to the question, my favorite part of it.
Time will prove that right. But
I think so. You've already
time will prove that.
That's way ahead.
So right now, everything is coming out, and I'll believe it, man. Time will prove that right.
So you think you're going to be able to buy PC games on your Xbox?
I'm just sitting here saying that if whatever games that you have on your PC.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
You're going to be able to play on your Xbox One. You go to the Steam store and purchase these games.
What Showstopper talking about is big.
You're going to still be able to play it on your Xbox.
It's big picture
because
mode.
they're going to give you mouse. They're going to give you mouse and keyboard support.
If
you want to have that, you're going to have that feature. If you want to do that, you can still play with your controller. So everything is going to be able to be transported over. The only thing they're going to do is they're going to put the Steam app on there, the big picture mode, and they're going to be able to play those games like that.
I don't know about Steam. That's what we disagree. I don't think you're gonna have because Microsoft sells games, digitally.
Understandable.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, what kind of situation?
But Z, you got Amazon.
Here we go.
Walmart sells games. Listen, look. It's all about money. It's all about money. This is not about us to debate because we don't know the inner workings. But somehow between Steam, big money, and Microsoft, big money, they're gonna find out how to make more money. Trust me when I tell you that.
Yeah, they will.
I don't know.
Target sells games. Walmart sells games, and Microsoft sells games.
It's easier for Steam to partner with them because that's a cheaper way to put their Steam system on that box, and people can still buy their games.
If you make a killer hamburger, and all of a sudden you're selling 10,000 of those things a month, but my company happens to sell 100 million hamburgers, and I'm like, yo, I want to throw you on mine. Where the hell do I sign up?
Those Steam machines? Nobody's buying. Listen, again, nobody buying those. Steam machines. No, again, this is what I'm saying, and we can go back and forth. All I'm saying is that you're going to be on your Windows 10 PC. You're going to be able to take what's on your Windows 10 PC because your Xbox One is also a Windows 10 device. You're going to be able to take whatever's on your PC and stream it to your Xbox One. What I am saying, you're not going to be able to buy a Steam game on your Xbox One because that doesn't make any sense. Microsoft has a digital store. We're selling Call of Duty for $35. Here it is. Steam has Call of Duty for $12. Microsoft doesn't get any of that money. That's between Steam and Activision. You know what I mean? But if you buy it on your PC inside the Steam store, inside Steam on your Steam app, fine, cool. That's all that I'm saying. But that's fine.
I understand when you sit here saying purchasing of games. Even when I just sat here and said that I can go to the Steam store and purchase whatever. What I'm sitting here saying to you is that the way they are sitting here saying this feature is coming, it's coming like an app to where I can just log in from my Xbox and play whatever games that I have.
You can put a Steam app on your You can put a Steam app on your cell phone, buy a game, but you still have to have a rig to be able to run that game.
That's what I'm sitting here saying. They sitting here saying you're going to be able to run that game from there. That's the feature that they added.
I think your PC still has to be on.
I don't think so. Well, we'll see.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, well, hold on. I just want to say something before we move on. I was checking N4G, which is usually a Pony Haven. But most of the stuff is a lot of negative Sony stuff. It's like Yoshida says, it's like Yoshida says, I don't know why Sean Layden wore a Crash shirt. Another one, did Sony do more harm than good with PlayStation VR keynote? Hold on. Here's another one. All hype but no punch. Why the PlayStation experience was a disappointment. You had all kinds of stuff like that, which actually surprises me.
Yes, you know what? It's I told you we need our fucking champagne glasses and flutes right now, Well,
I'm actually surprised too, Crap. I'm usually the guy who finds like the glass half full. and people are hating me now. Like, why the hell did you like anything?
Well, did you see that guy that supposed Sony insider that was saying
Tidex? But that guy got exposed before.
Oh, that guy got exposed bad yesterday.
What happened? Who?
There's a guy on Twitter.
Kleenex or Tidex or whatever.
He pretends to be an insider, and he gets like their big. He only talks about Sony stuff, so I'll give him that credit. But he was saying that they were gonna have name changes, or the Sony Bend was gonna be there.
Sony Bend. What is that?
That's a developer, first-party developer. Okay. Yeah, he got called out really bad yesterday. I saw people really going in on him because he's another full of shit guy.
Just like Thruway and all those other asshats.
A little more disappointment I'll throw into this recipe is anybody who's saying, well, let's just wait till E3 next year for Sony. When you have Sony who took this amount of money, and I watched the stage build, the money and time. No, but there was no time limit here. They owned that stage as long as they wanted. It was their event for the whole day. Mm-hmm. Nothing came out. What do you think they're... Listen, when a game is announced at E3 or these PSX or anything Microsoft may do in the future... These are games that take 2, 3, 4 years to come out. They haven't even shown a CGI of God of War. They haven't shown a CGI of anything you're interested in that's a Sony product, except for Ratchet & Clank, which is a $40 remake with Ted Price's fucking Nightmare in it. Nobody gives a shit. Well, listen, there's nothing coming down the pipeline, Sony fans, and that's not me being an asshole. It's unfortunately a little truth serum.
I don't think it's nothing. They have a little, but the thing is, Xbox
very little.
Xbox is
stuff coming.
What did you think of the SNK deal with King of Fighters 14?
That game's garbage.
I never cared for SNK.
Before I even get into that, Worry, to answer your question, let's just talk about forget about the panel. Who even knows what that is?
Well, you gotta be old. You gotta be old.
Like, that's my point. And you know what, Showstopper? I 9 out of 10 times I agree with you, but the comment you just made, I can't agree with you. You said they got something coming. No, they don't. They don't.
Look, what I'm sitting here saying, you might not. Like, for instance, it might not appeal to you as a personal game.
But does it appeal to the dollar bill, Showstopper? Forget about me.
No, it don't. I'm not sitting here. What I'm sitting here saying, certain people like certain things. I don't think it's a lot of people major that's going to sit here and buy these games. That's why I'm sitting here and I'm waving the banner saying they don't support Japanese games. They don't. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the games that's coming from that side, you don't see the support for it over here. Because the type of gamers that's over here is more Western stuff.
But you know what I'm saying?
But you do have some gamers over here, but I hate the frauds that sit here and say they're going to support this stuff, and they don't show up and support it.
We can say this, though. We can say this. That's why the market has shifted, because those type of games are no longer bought by the masses anymore. You know what I mean? That's why those games in Japan and whatever that's why Japan is not the force it once was when it comes to gaming. That's when you have Konami, Square, and they're making all these American styles or Western.
You know what? I gotta.
Because no one. I think it's because it's just they don't advertise it over here.
No, I mean no one buys that shit anymore. They
don't advertise it.
Final Fantasy is not what it once was.
I think there's some truth to what you're saying, because if there wasn't truth to that, then they wouldn't be changing Final Fantasy VII's combat system and making it more action oriented towards the West.
Yeah, no one, but again, like you said, it was, you got to realize, even look, prime example, look at Resident Evil. You remember how they used to control all blocking, you just walk, and then they made it where it's free roaming, you know what I mean? Because that's what's, been going on. Like to me, I thought that, that's all that it was at one, like, all we had was Japan. We had EA over in the States and maybe Activision, then Japan ruled everything, everything came from over that way. Even games came out over there first. That's not even the case anymore, you know what I mean? Those niche, we call them niche, they appeal to a certain type of, and that's a very, very small demographic, and that's not enough to make a turn of profit. You know what I mean? That's what we call, when we had the discussion about AAA games, like One Piece, Blood, the Tag, those are not AAA games. Those are, they're not. That's, not enough to. So maybe they sell 50,000 copies. They may turn a profit with them. Dynasty Warriors 19. Nobody's buying that shit anymore.
Look, I picked up Godzilla for $10. I picked up Godzilla for $10.
You bought Godzilla?
Or did you never put it?
Bought Godzilla.
I bought it, right? Because it's a list game, and I was gonna go and review some of these list games that people like Omagazio and all these other faggots put out there, right? They're like, hey, Here's Godzilla, right? It's always in their list. I play this game. It looks like a PS2 game. I was tweeting out pictures for the PS4 share. It's terrible. It's worse than you've heard. It's one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever played in my life. And the fact that people put this on the list just goes to show that they care more about the quantity than the quality.
Wait, you remember they doing the BGST? It was like, what? Godzilla's an iconic figure. The fuck are you guys talking about? You remember that shit?
I do. It was terrible. And look, these games are awful. These are, look. We buy Xboxes for Forza, Fable, Gears, Halo. We buy Nintendo systems for Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Smash Brothers. We buy PlayStations. We buy PlayStations for Gran Turismo, God of War, Uncharted. Crash Bandicoot. What have you? Jack and Dexter, Sly Cooper, whatever.
Yeah. Jesus, where's that at?
Well, they canceled it and made The Last of Us. That's what they did. So.
Well.
I forgot about this. Sony does have The Last of Us. That's
they want to milk that. They want to milk that out as quickly as possible because they already did. They already did the PS3 version, the remake, the Game of the Year version, the standalone DLC, the $1 a piece kill animations for the microtransactions. I think we're gonna see that at E3
this year. Maybe they'll show some CGI from that.
Man, that'd be some rushed out shit, man.
Wait, when was the last one? The last one came out when?
2013. 2013.
So it's 2016. We may see a CGI
but they've been working on Uncharted 4, right?
Yeah, but
they have two teams supposedly.
That'd be out before E3 next year.
Well, they have two teams, but at the same time they were working on Uncharted 3, they were working on The Last of Us, and I think Uncharted 3 suffered because of that.
Yes. Uncharted 3 was garbage, but it didn't matter because Greg Miller, our trending gamer, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Miller gave that a 10 out of 10 when he worked at IGN. So that's a good segue to the Game Awards because we haven't talked about that as a whole. Garbage. I mean, and I don't even think that it's garbage like biased per se. I just think that the panel who's in charge, hipsters, all of them, they're all just kind of hipsters
Can anyone who's listening to this show please get some kind of word out to somebody? Let's get this shit back to New York. Let's stop this garbage out there in California. Everybody's fucking heads are in the cloud. Let's get back to New York where people are realistic, where we don't just judge shit because it's cool or because I can do air quotes. Let's just fucking get back to really what things are. For some reason, we're a little bit more realistic over here. We start to judge things on things that matter, things like actual gameplay, like story, actual money put into it, development costs, things like that. Not just like, well, Troy Baker's my friend, and he wears a goofy little hat that makes him look like he's a Potter, and he likes to just come up at noon. Let's stop with this horse shit. Let's get stuff out of California. They're drunk on too much wine, which I'm a big fan of wine, but that's not the point.
I know. I saw you with your lush lifestyle, with your second fucking Elite controller. I don't even have one yet. Mooch has two.
He said it's on the. I ordered two of them right from the get-go. I got news for you. Yeah. That controller is my pair of sneakers, bro. That thing is fantastic. I can't play video games without it.
Right. That's your J's, huh?
Those are my J's. Those are my fucking Air Maxes from the '95 era. Okay.
Dude, so he tweets out his setup. He's got like a glass of wine. There's a
hey, Murray Wart's not that far off. He's got a martini with 3 olives. I got a glass of wine.
It's an Italian thing, man.
It is. It really is. It's a Guido thing.
But there's 3 of us in here.
Realistically, Guido.
No. Listen, we're 4 niggas. So you the tires are black too.
That's right. Thank you.
I think I'm an honorary black guy, right? I mean,
you're the albino rhino.
Yeah.
The albino rhino.
I got people messaging me that on Xbox.
That shit sure burnt my nose.
Shout out to Jay Williams, but
Crap is about as black as Zaire is about to go have a brunch.
Dude, what are you talking about, man? I'm Mr. Black People, man. I got black people, in the
God.
Mr. Black.
That's how much was that. Crap having another meltdown this Christmas.
You should have a T-shirt made.
Mr. Black People? I'm Mr. Black People.
Yo, get back to the VGAs for a minute, though, Crap. In all honesty, there is a mentality if you watch something that's produced in New York versus produced in California. There's just some kind of era out there that I just don't get it. And I'm friends with a lot of people. Shout out to Southbound. He's a good friend of mine. Z hangs out with him. He's a hell of a guy. And you know what? I always tell Southbound this. I say, South, I know you're located in L.A., and I know you'll live and die for Los Angeles. but realistically, you have the mentality of a New Yorker. Because to be honest with you, you're just a little bit more realistic. And Worry is a great example. He's here on the show tonight. Worry has had jobs over on the West Coast, Mid-Atlantic, whatever the hell he's been. I don't know. But he's New York bound. He's always on the East Coast. He's got a New York mentality, a little bit more realistic. Show, I know you're in Cincinnati, but I'm going to go ahead and fucking haul you right over here. And Zair's in Jersey. You know, it's the same kind of idea here, man. I just don't understand what this kind of... There's something out there. I mean, do you guys even see what I'm seeing? Like, you would never see this when offices were in New York. Now everything's moved out to California, and everything's just in this, like, la-la land. And it's like they judge things off of things that don't matter, and everybody's just like, well, Yoshida's cool, and he comes and does my show, so because he does my show and he's cool, it's the greatest system in the world. And that's just not really how life is, people. Like, you have to open your eyes. Look at what's going on. Phil Spencer and company, which they're located in Redmond, but maybe Redmond doesn't sniff or drink the wine that's in fucking San Francisco and Los Angeles, is that they realize that they have to put their money where their mouth is. They've got 7 IPs that we discussed earlier on the show. They've got different negotiations with ID at Xbox coming out. They gave you a new UI. You've got 104 games coming out right now, another slew coming out by the end of the month in backwards compatibility. I just don't understand what the consumer wants. We're all supposed to be Americans. We're all supposed to fall under this one umbrella. But yet there's a huge division in this country because the minute you pass Kansas City, people's IQs drop by about 45%. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
Hey, we got about 350 viewers right now.
And
That's
hopefully
cool,
out of those 350,
It's all me.
And 348 of them are from New York.
Everyone gives us our biggest ratings in a while.
Oh my God! Is that Governor Dean Kane?
Wait.
Governor Dean.
Let me try it.
Twitter's
Do it.
going crazy.
Let me try it. Hold on. Bang, bang.
What if your grandmother got a fetish?
Well, no, you know what's funny is, right? It's like I see Tim Dog. He's arguing on Twitter right now with people. The Sony fanboys are up in arms. You got half of them that are actually admitting, that it's a problem, and then you got the other ones on the attack because they know it's shit, and they feel that Sony's in a bad position right now because they are. Let's face it. Like people are falling out of love with Sony. Like that. That 3-year itch or whatever is not
now fire sales are good. Like this guy Major Yos, which is Sony backwards because he's really a big fanboy, but he's all right. He's telling me that Crackdown's a misguided tech, but he just saw that fucking that garbage conference. And then we got Dro, who's telling me, he's like, oh, you name me one studio that's working on this that's gonna take away from a game. I fucking send them a link for Sony Santa Monica for the VR. It's just they're desperate right now. They are salty because they haven't had a game in 8 months, 9 months, and they got to wait another 4 months. And Xbox been kicking their ass. Now now fire sales are okay. Now $300 because whatever reason's okay. Now that they're going for the kill. But last year Microsoft winning by $720K in the last 2 months was because of a fire sale. So the hypocrisy is at an all-time high. Bottom line is that there's one game company right now that's more focused on the gamer, and that's Microsoft. And with that, you can take that and shove it up your ass.
I thought you were going to say Apple.
Hey, you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, I think this with any company that you may love, you may be. I think what you have to do, not what you have to, what you should do, you have to call your favorite company out for their faults. No one's perfect.
That's a definite.
If you want them to do better, you know what I mean.
And
you have to start.
Not to interject, but you can go on.
Listen, if they want to keep, if they're cool with not having any AAAs, and just all this 1080p talk, and then you keep up with this shit. Just keep on, a while. Xbox fans and true gamers are going to migrate over here and have a blast. You know what I mean? We're talking about games. They're talking about pixels and lines and how, like, come on, man. This shit, I read an article. Like, I even thinking that right now is getting stale. I seen an article on N4G, and it said up top, you said, this resolution should have never been a topic. We're talking about console gamers. You know what I mean? Like this, I think it's silly as all hell. Like I said, I own both consoles, and I'm a consumer at the end of the day. If I played a game that looked 20% better on my PlayStation 4, I would buy it on my PlayStation 4. That's never been the case. You know what I mean? Like I'm just the God's honest truth. Like, you know what I mean? You know, and whoever, I guess I could been, you know, feeling them because I know we get shit here, so I imagine what the fuck they get. You know what I mean?
Hey, has anybody played Just Cause 3? Not to change the topic.
That's too much. Games like that, they don't. There's too much to do. I lose direction.
I heard it's having major issues on both consoles.
Yeah, there's too much to do, man. Flying around, shooting.
I'm on record as calling it a dumpster fire. It's just too much going on. It's
I never
Rockstar's money.
Yeah. I never care for it. I buy it if it was $20. I'm not paying $65.
No.
Well, just back to the awards real quick.
I'm sorry.
In particular, a couple things bothered me. The trending gamer thing. It was like that was like predetermined because Greg Miller was like, I'm up for trending gamer or whatever. Like, how is he even up for that? First of all. Second of all, there's only a couple things that pissed me off. Was the soccer cars game winning racing game of the year
over Forza?
Yeah, over Forza 6, and it's not even
a racer.
Game.
That's
come on, man! Like, stop it! Like, that's wow. You ain't even got to be listening.
That was a surprise. I'll tell you what.
You don't even have to be a fan of Forza, but that's not even a racing game.
I was surprised though that I'm glad a positive surprise. I was surprised that The Witcher won Game of the Year, and I was really surprised that Ori got Best Art over Bloodborne. I thought they would just give it to Bloodborne. I was surprised Ori won. I'm glad it did, but I didn't expect that to happen at all.
But soccer cars?
No, Ori with Best Art.
Oh, yeah, I get that. You know, cool. You know what I mean? But
the racing thing is crazy. I don't know how that happened.
I got it. I'm okay with soccer cars winning Best Indie. A lot of the media hyped
that's
it
like
up.
Putting Vanilla Ice in your top 5 MCs of all time. Like,
he is, man. Ice baby, bro. Come on.
To the extreme. I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage.
Ninja.
Take that,
Ninja. Right.
Like, take that, Eldro.
Go ninja.
Word to the mother.
Yeah, word to your mother. I see Showstopper driving around in a 5.0 with the rag top down so his hair can blow.
Half the audience probably know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, they show.
But I mean, what did you guys think? Like, okay, that was bullshit, right? Because they announced that as Racer of the Year. Like, oh, okay, it wins Best Indie. Oh, by the way, it also is the Best Racer of the Year. Let's go ahead and it's like that show is totally catering towards.
How many award shows have you watched that have been good over the years? Really none. Yeah.
None.
You know what? I don't even. And I guess I'm always out of the loop. I don't even watch those shits.
No, I usually don't either. But they're always bad.
And I'm talking about like the video game awards. I always ask you guys, feel me? I'm out the loop. Like I don't watch them because whenever you can, and again, you don't even have to be a PlayStation fan or an Xbox fan. Soccer cars, whatever it's called, it's not a racer. And to like, you know, what I mean, even if you had one racer that came out there, you had Need for Speed too. You know, what I mean, even if they'd have chose Need for Speed over.
There was Project Cars as well. So I mean, you had legitimate
you know what I mean,
racers.
or whatever the case. To say that is better than Forza, or you know what I mean. If Forza, you could have given it to Project Cars over Forza. You're right, but come on, man, like that's bad. You know what I mean.
The year before, it was Mario Kart beat out Forza Horizon 2.
Not talking about winners or losers. Wow. I think the VGAs could be a lot bigger than they are. The video game industry is $1 billion business. Okay, it's up there as big. What's that?
Not getting shit like that, you know. When things are like that,
that's fine. But listen, the argument that people are constantly giving, I'm gonna take a little bit of the pressure off. Jeff Keighley's apparently the only person running this thing. Microsoft, Sony, these people should all be invested. Hollywood Studios is heavily invested into the Oscars because at the end of the year, it's really, really good that whether or not you went to go see these movies or not, that for 3 hours once a year, they really bask in the 3 or 4 or 5 big movies so that if you didn't go see them, you either go pick up the Blu-ray, you go watch it if it's still in the theater at the end of the year. Listen, there's ways to put money into this. And there's a lot of celebrities, a lot of sports celebrities, Lakers fans, Seattle Seahawks, you got people listening. All these people are playing Xbox and Sony. There's no reason that they shouldn't be showing up to give away awards. The same thing like Nickelodeon. Like Nickelodeon? Nicka-fucking-Lodian? Who the fuck? When somebody says what? Somebody gets slimed?
Yeah.
And they show up for that shit? You're telling me $1 billion business like this where people are playing Madden all the time and shit like that? NBA 2K? You got Steph Curry doing all this and shit and blah, blah, blah on Twitter? Yeah. Listen, what I'm saying is, get Jeff Keighley. I say this all the time. Get Jeff Keighley out of there. Hire me. Let's get fucking down to business. I'll make the fucking VGAs the fucking second most watched award ceremony behind the Oscars in 1 year.
But
You got to reach out to the right people, Z.
You know what? It's not even so much that. I think that until they take out the bullshit and the biasism, I mean, honestly, you know, and I'm back to talking about this atrocities, you know, soccer cars over Forza or soccer cars over Project Cars. Until they take out the biasism, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, like this shit. I don't know if it's rigged beforehand. Who's voting on this? They have to make it serious. Now, I agree with what you're saying. To get, you know, it is because actually, I think the video game industry is bigger than the movie industry now. You know, or if not neck and neck, is a damn near, you know, $2 billion industry.
Money, man.
Well, next gen, did you see? You know, it annoys me, right? Okay, I don't like. I'm with you, right? I don't think that it's biased so far. Like this is what I think.
Soccer cars over Forza?
Okay, yeah, I do think, but think about this.
Even the best shooter.
I know the whole was Splatoon, right? Because the panel that does this are the hipsters. They're the ones. Some of them work at Game Informer.
They need to open it up to the fans.
Yeah, some of them. Well, they did, right? The fans voted on trending gamer and most anticipated game of 2016. The most anticipated game was voted on by fans, and it was what is that space game that Warrior Ward loves? That fucking No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Who the fuck will pick No Man's Sky over Uncharted or fucking Gears of War 4?
What was that space game that Warrior Ward loves?
Yeah.
But, I mean, really, I don't know about these voting. Where did they go? Like, who would pick No Man's Sky?
Well, they sure as hell ain't coming to Newark to ask you.
Yeah. I'm saying, though, that doesn't make it. That's not realistically right there. You know what I mean? Like, come on. And I don't care if they give it to it. It's not even about a PlayStation or an Xbox thing right there. That's just not being realistic in the world. That's like, you know.
What I got out of the whole show was that they kind of seemed like they wanted to cater to everybody. Yeah. You know, like Nintendo got to win, Microsoft got to win, Sony got to win. It was all kind of like touchy.
What did Sony win?
They got the didn't they get the
their game was most anticipated with No Man's Sky. Also, Soccer Cars won best indie, best racer. But that whole, like I said, the whole people that are voting on this stuff, like the industry people, they're the ones pushing this indie narrative. They're like, that's why a lot of these smaller games keep winning these awards.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it can never be as big as the Oscars. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you look at it, the last few wins for the bigger titles there have been like smaller games. You know, I think a couple of years ago the Walking Dead one. Look at their big reveals. Another Telltale game, a Batman one, and it could be good. You know, but it's like how many of the and they showed the Walking Dead was shown. Another thing from Telltale. Like,
I forgot it, but that was in 2013 or something when Walking Dead one.
Yeah,
but that's not real. I mean, I don't know, man.
Damn, dude, Tim Dog's going in. Who the hell are you going in on Twitter,
these
Tim?
These guys are saying connects to failure, but you know, it'll never touch 10 million. This Sony VR bullshit, it's dead on arrival. I mean, that shit's gonna fucking fail. I'm sorry, and they just can't deal with it. And you know, like I told this guy, the guy Dro, who always takes L's to me because he makes stupid shit up. But he's like, oh well, give me a game. Give me a game that Sony Monica's working on. And I gave him the link, and still they're in a mass state of denial. Sony fucking shit the bed yesterday. They look like a bunch of jerk offs at PSX. They didn't appeal to the core gamer at all. I mean, you guys are you're unraveled, brother. You guys are you're done.
Brother, you're done.
Seriously. You're in a game. I understand. You've been without a game for 9 months. Okay?
Eat your vitamins.
You got 3 more months to wait. I understand that you're angry and you got no games. You got no big games. Like
they're in denial.
Okay? But you should be more mad at that utter
these 20-inch pythons, brother.
Tim, I got a question for you, Tim.
I'm gonna take you down.
You gotta say your prayers.
That's garbage.
And eat your
That shit's
vitamins.
gonna fail right off the fucking bat. People are gonna be laughing at it. It's going to be a fucking funeral at E3. Go show that at E3. Please show those demos.
Tim, do you think they're gonna waste people's times at E3 with more VR?
I hope they do, so these fucking assholes can eat their own shit.
Hey,
Because you know
Tim.
what? Because you know what? They deserve it. Because they don't know what a true gamer is. That's not true gaming. That's bullshit. That's trying to sell what all Sony fans said about Kinect. Oh, look at these people. Guess what? You were those fucking assholes yesterday, and now you have the audacity to defend that? Get the fuck out!
Hey, Tim.
Boom! Trump, I need you to sit the fuck down! And Joe, take the garbage out, because that's where you belong.
Hey, I will tell y'all, man. We are the
I got a
most
question for
compelling
Tim, man.
podcast here
Yes,
on
sir.
YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are. And remember, if your grandmother has a fat ass, give her my number.
Wait.
And can we please get back to the
ask
power
Tim a
break?
question.
Hold on, Worry Word has something to say.
Go ahead,
I want
Ward.
to ask Tim a question. Tim, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What you gonna do, brother, when PlayStation VR comes for you?
Honestly, though, do you guys do? I have a question for you. Do you think they'll show it at E3?
Who, me?
I think they're going to have to.
They have
If
to.
they announce that shit at E3 with the price, it's going to be a fucking shit show.
But they have to. They
gonna
have to
be
market.
$400.
Isn't it going on sale for this Christmas?
It's gonna be
Next week?
If they're smart, they hold a separate event. But you know what? They probably won't. They'll do. If they're smart, they'll just section that shit
If they
off.
were smart, they'd scrap that shit now. But
Or
they're
they
not.
scrap it,
They've
yeah.
invested too much into it already. And you know they're trying to ride the wave.
The problem
multiplats and
though,
indies.
they can't compete. They're going up against Oculus. They're not going against Microsoft. They can't compete.
I know that.
Microsoft
Compete
and
against dog
Facebook.
shit. That's dog shit. I'd rather play dog shit than that.
Exactly.
Seriously.
I'd rather play dog shit.
There's another shirt for the store.
I mean, seriously. Did you see how? Who wants to fucking hanker up in that fucking the 20-pound headset and then have two fucking glowing fucking
Dildos.
dildo sticks and
Hey,
look
I
like
seen that edit today with the two.
Yeah.
Hey, Showstopper, I got a question for your show. Is the power brick for that visor? Is that gonna dangle off your ass?
Yeah.
What's the power brick?
I mean, seriously, it's just all it's come back to shit show in their face because this is all the shit they talked. And you know what? Now it's your time. Your fucking company is going down the wrong route. Okay, it's going down some VR route, which is bullshit with 1995 graphics, or if it's interactive, or a sim. Basically, if you get good graphics, you're gonna get I'm flying with my friends. Look over here. Oh, I mean, nobody's gonna want to do that.
Yeah,
Nobody
But
cares.
you know, but at the
Hey,
end of
the stick man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Rez. Yeah.
God, that was some trash.
see,
that
that's-
VR, that whole VR stuff was just.
It was bad. It was bad. But the
yeah, you know what?
difference is
Let's
that
be fair.
Kinect.
It maybe some people
Kinect-
that do like it.
Yeah, but it's not going to get mass adopted like Kinect was. No way.
But listen, what I'm trying to say, it may be some people that do like it, but the problem is that it's taken away from their AAA titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their in-house money. You know what I mean? That's all. They don't have any more build-ins to sell. That's it. So you know, that's the problem. That's my only problem with it. And you know, if they can do all of it because it doesn't interest me, and you know, what doesn't interest, I won't buy it.
You know,
But if it takes away from what I like to play on the console, what why I buy a console, that's when it becomes a problem to me. I don't have my God of Wars and stuff,
You know what's smart though? I think probably moving towards what Tim was saying. If you looked at Ace Combat, they have that for PlayStation VR, but the game also works on the PlayStation 4 without it. So you could just buy it and play it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do a lot of that just in case.
Oh, they are, because they got Tekken 7. A lot of multi-plat games are going to, will it be a gimmick like some of the Kinect shit? Probably so. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
A lot of the Kinect stuff.
I don't see that headset as being as a massive.
Well, you know what,
adoption.
guys? There's a subject line we've kind of forgot about here. Who's buying this for $300 when the Kinect was outrageous at $150? Who's buying a $300 peripheral right now? Who's buying this? Forget about wanting to wear a 20-pound headset, wanting to play PS2 games through your eyeballs, wanting to go and spend the extra.
What do you think conservatively would be a number? How many
300.
How many people do you think?
If it's over 300, there's going to be an absolute.
I think 300
I
is
think somebody's getting pummeled.
It was the price of a console. A VP has said it's going to be about the price of a console.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, like, what percentage of the audience do you think would buy it?
Less than 10%.
Conservative.
Very low.
Less than 10%.
A parent's not going to buy that for their kids.
No.
A 30-year-old, there's going to be a lot of guys, for the older generations, I'm sorry. A guy like me, an older person is not going to buy that for obvious reasons. Some get sick. You get sick. Others are just not into it. You're going to have like that maybe that 18 to 28 area where they actually might buy this, but the mothers aren't going to buy this.
Well,
They're going to look at this.
Tim, let me add to what you're saying because I'm going to backpack on that. You're 100% right. There's word that there's going to be a lot of the pornography stuff on VR.
That's what's gonna sell it.
Parents, yeah, but parents
Let's
are not.
be honest. That's what it's really all
Yes,
about,
but
man.
parents aren't going to want their kids looking at something they can't visually see what they're looking at. So that's another deterrent. Like it's a very small niche group of people. It's not going to make money. If it makes money, people are saying in the VR world, VR is a big word right now. I'm not sitting here telling you VR is not going to be big. VR is not going to be big on Sony. VR is going to be big in everyday activities. HoloLens is not VR, but that type of utilization on everyday activity is going to be big and increase over the years. We're going to be doing these types of things with visors and glasses. But to say you're going to come home, get done with your work at the house, mow the lawn, get the kids all their homework done, they're in bed, you come downstairs and you're going to put this fucking helmet on, it's not going to happen for $300 and a fucking game of Tron in my eyes. That's not happening right now. I don't want to play Tron Frisbee. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me right now. And when I have other better things I can play right now on the market.
Bird stimulator.
Hey,
I don't want to do that neither.
Doesn't that backtrack their whole thing about power and great graphics and this and that? You know what I mean? Like, they're showing these terrible-looking games that look worse than, like, Wii games, and, you know, there's no textures.
Yeah, I just want to see Mooch with the helmet on, with those wonderful leather chairs he has, and the glass of wine.
Dude, Mooch is a high roller, man. He's got a yacht. He's got two Xbox Elite controllers.
I'm just passing the Carolinas as we do this. Fantastic out here.
He's royal blue blood. He's like
Blue
pass the Grey Poupon and the Chardonnay.
I punched that clock for many years, but what I'm saying is literally.
Hey, listen, I got a message from Southbound. Shout out to Southbound. He sent me a message saying, please let you guys know that Soccer Cars won Best Racing/Sports Game, not just racing game.
Okay.
So, see, that's to answer your question, Mooch, why that show can't be taken serious. You know, you mean beat out NBA 2K16 and Madden?
Right.
That's sports game. Come on.
That's bullshit.
Wait, no, hold on. It won that award too?
No. The
It was both category.
The category was racing/sports, like a racing game that is also sports implemented in it.
So you got even okay. I thought it was just racer, but you got Madden, you got 2K, and you mean to tell me that Soccer Cars? Like, who the fuck? Like, come on, these can't be real gamers, or it may I don't know, some hippies, and that's why that show can't be taken seriously. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I don't have that shit doesn't have any credit. This is not about a PlayStation thing, Nintendo thing, or a Wii U, whatever the fuck thing. It's not. It's just like that's not that. Come on, we all know that's bullshit. You know.
Yeah,
it is.
It's the coffee crew, the Starbucks crew.
I don't know.
The voting on this
drinking wine with the.
No, I love Starbucks, man. Come on.
I don't know what the fuck that is, man. Like,
sit there and just like to chat.
But anyway, like, no, fuck that. You got to get one for that's like saying the Weapon Wheels podcast is better than BGST. Come on, we got to call a fucking spade here, man.
We do.
Well, those big cocksuckers. Hey, listen, BGST is the best. Fuck the rest, but yeah, that's.
Hey, well, you know, people were looking forward to this all day. They knew, and we actually, like, some weeks we'll just like kind of bullshit around and like not have much to talk about, and we still do a really good show. But then a week like this, where we were all chomping at the bit to get in here and talk about this,
like,
there was so much to talk about.
I held back, man, on a lot of stuff I could have did. Just for this podcast right here, man.
There's no defending what they did. I mean, you can sit there and look at the fanboys that do nothing but, like, check it out. Like, today I saw somebody tweeting, and I go check their profile on Twitter, and it's like all they have is, like, numbers. 30 million sold, or this. Like, that's all. I mean, they don't have anything else. I mean, if you look at what, like, the Xbox
what does that do
fans
for
are
them,
talking
Crap?
about. Exactly.
What
it does nothing.
That do for them?
It does nothing. Nothing.
You know, it gets them Sony VR.
We can't play. You know, that doesn't do anything. For, you know what? And it's the hypocrisy. That's like, you know, the 360 gamers last generation sales, or the Wii gamers.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know, the Wii gamers. Oh, so the Wii sold 90. Who the fuck cares? I don't want to play Mario Golf with a fucking Wii remote. You know, what does that do for you? Nothing. You know what I mean? And you know, it's fucked up. You know.
What do you want to do with that Wii remote?
Here's a question for you guys. Shout out to Iron Wolf. He makes the comment. He said basically, do you guys think that the PS Vita support has been shut down because they invested everything in the VR?
Good point. I would rather have support for the Vita than
I would rather support Vita right now. I think Vita would have been a better if they got better titles, better first party support.
Yeah, I would say, which at the end of the day, but that's again, it's I would not to be, I say non-biased. There may be some people that are really interested in that thing, but you have to appeal to everyone, okay? And
I mean,
the
if I
problem,
was them, I would just make a Star Wars game where you're a Jedi holding a lightsaber in VR.
you know, and that would have been correct. That'd have been probably cool, but
But then what they got to do is
away
adding a dance in part 2 where you can do dance to I Am Han Solo.
I don't know, but you're taking away from the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? Oh, that shit is the icing in the filler. Where's the meat and the potatoes? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's on the VR. It's on the VR card.
Yeah,
VR
like Crap said, you buy a Nintendo for Mario, Zelda, whatever. You buy an Xbox for the Forza, the Gears, the Halo. You buy a PlayStation for the God of Wars, the Uncharted, or the Gran Turismo. Not for this shit here. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Imagine.
So we don't think
Xbox gamers-
HoloLens is going to be for gaming?
I don't know. It's gonna be.
It'll have some minor stuff, but yeah.
Microsoft Word, Excel. But imagine if we couldn't get a fucking Halo 5 because they made some Kinect games. We'd be livid. You understand what I'm saying?
If this was Xbox, I mean, finally we got people actually, believing what we've been saying the whole time. This is gratifying because you know what? We all called this, and now all these fucking fans like Omaz Magazio, whatever the fuck his name is, Major Sony backwards, Dro, all these guys now are eating that crow because you know what?
How's that taste?
How's that taste, brothers? Because you guys, you constantly said Microsoft wasn't for the gamer, and I'm looking at 100 fucking foot robot fucking thing. What the fuck is going on? I mean, are you serious? You're gonna talk about power and 100-foot robot golf?
No, Brian Altano says he thinks that could be good.
You close the show on a third-party MOBA? Go fuck yourself.
There you go.
Is that exclusive or is that multi-plat?
I don't know. Who knows? The show ended, and Layden said it was so good. That fucking tool bag.
That was a bad way to end the show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I agree with that. That was a bad way to end the show.
What? Hey, man, but this has been a damn good show today,
Boys
man.
House.
This is dangerous.
360. I never seen this. This is pretty big. This is good. We're coming up. At least we were right, and all the people that are here, all the Microsoft fans, thank you for sticking by us. Thank you for sticking by what we said. But all along, we were the ones that were behind this. Other people were telling us that we were crazy, that we're a joke, Microsoft's a joke.
We're liars. We're this,
and now you guys are the assholes. You guys are the Kinect assholes that you all made fun of. It's all back to you right now. And Layden, stop trying to be Phil Spencer. You're a fucking nerd. I don't care who that guy is.
Anyone, even our biggest haters, to watch this, listen to this podcast, and not enjoy it. I don't care if you hate us or not. Like,
I'm mad about the Jets Giants game too. So
I was gonna say, Tim is usually not this angry.
I'm mad.
No, he's not. Tim at 1,000 right now, boy.
Tim gets angry when it comes to
when the Mets lose.
Yeah, when the Mets lose or when the Sony fanboys are trying to talk shit about the Xbox and they don't even have folders, right?
Where's the folders? Did you get a folder yesterday? Did you get a name change? Can you show offline? Can you have second step authentication in a time of fucking terrorism? You
Jesus
Lord.
Lord.
Where are people talking about that? Yo, have a folder. Shut the fuck up! Stop tweeting me!
It'd be great to watch.
I'm done.
That's good.
Oh man!
Oh my God!
I have a folder. Yes or no? Tie ducks. Oh, we're gonna get name changes. Oh, we're gonna get this. You got fucking 100-foot robot golf and some fucking shit show stick figures. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Some guy dressed in fucking tinfoil.
Jesus.
Throw that guy. What the fuck was it? Throw that guy up the
work, Tim.
Hey, so we gotta tweet this show to Yoshida, man. Bring him back.
Oh my God!
You know what? He'll block us if we do that shit.
I'm blocked. He blocked. I'm very respectful on Twitter. I got blocked 3 years ago, and I asked him about the red light on the PS4. Remember they had that indication?
Somebody made a GIF out of him saying no.
Yeah, I got blocked for that. I'm like, huh? I don't disrespect nobody on Twitter. I'm like, damn, I didn't even see no granny joke.
Sony for the payers.
Yeah.
That's another fucking shit show.
Hey, what do you guys think about this? Like, you can play like the backwards compatible PS2 Rockstar games on there, right? But the rumor is that you can't play those on. They're not really working with Microsoft to do backwards compatibility from the 360.
Who?
Wait, say this again. What?
Okay, Rockstar. Because the PS2 Grand Theft Auto games are going to be are coming to the PS4.
Right.
Okay.
Which means Rockstar has to okay that and all that stuff. But Rockstar, the rumor is that they're not allowing backwards compatibility to the 360 game.
But that's not apples for apples, though, crap. The one that's going to be on PlayStation 2 has to be repurchased.
Well, yeah, but check this out. Eventually, I mean, you could still do that for Xbox One too. Like, they're probably going to eventually add 360 games, and if they do original Xbox games, to the store for you to buy.
And when they do that, Rockstar will sign on.
Right. Hey, Magagazi, go play fucking Job Simulator, you fucking tool bag.
Hey guys, I'm Amazio here. Wait till E3. Sony's gonna own it. They're gonna announce a bunch of AAA games that are gonna come out this year. Okay. Well, wait till Paris Games Week. They're gonna come out with a bunch of games. It's gonna be great. Wait till TGS. Wait till PSX. Wait till next year. It's like fucking wait. By the time next year,
they lived up to that slogan though. Greatness do really
you know
away.
What? Miziago, why don't you fucking wait and we'll do something else? How about that? Sit on your fucking thumb, you asshole.
Oh shit!
Hey, didn't Fat Princess release already? Is it today?
Yeah, it came out the day of the show. It was Fat Princess Adventures. It's a co-op game.
Was it free?
Maybe now Sony Santa Monica can get back to working on God of War.
That's been blowing up on Twitter. That game. Nope.
Fuck no. Have that game been trending?
Trending.
You know what? I like how matter of fact that was. Like, looking at that game.
You know what? Microsoft is sitting back, fucking licking their lips, literally. Like, seriously, they're about to, for those people that
about to get them that work,
to upgrade or whatever. Still, those people, I think that they made their decision a lot easier to go with the Xbox One.
Hey, did you guys see? Okay, like I want to talk about backwards compatibility, right? The Stick of Truth, South Park Stick of Truth, is backwards compatible on the Xbox One. And guess what? I think that game went into the top 10 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? I mean,
that was right at the end of the generation too.
Yeah, I love that game. I bought it even though I already had an Xbox One. I thought it was awesome.
It's friggin' hysterical, man.
Yeah.
What was the game with the dang on monsters? Looked like them little green things.
Job Simulator.
Was that the Job Simulator?
100 Pro Golf, I think. Whatever.
No.
Make an egg omelet on VR.
Hey, you know what would be the perfect VR game would be I Am Bread.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see Tim. I just want to see Tim watch the Mets lose in VR and then take the helmet off.
No, honestly, the reason why I'm screaming is I was very annoyed with the Jets giant game, and I held it in all day. So I just and then
that was pretty bad, man. That was bad. Yeah, it was.
Oh, the Jets beat the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants just don't. The
Patriots got whooped too.
Yeah, the Patriots got that ass whoop. That's what happened to them.
Who beat the Patriots?
Eagles.
Oh fuck. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles?
They hurt, man. They badly hurt right now.
The Eagles beat somebody?
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're in second place.
That's what it's called, the modern zombie taxi.
Yeah, modern zombie taxi. What the fuck?
Man.
Holy shit! I mean, seriously.
These games is trash, man. But
how you say
don't compare that to Crackdown 3. I mean,
was No Man's Sky anywhere to be seen? Did anybody see No Man's Sky?
No. That was in a folder. That's in the folder.
In a folder somewhere lost? Okay.
Yeah.
What's this folder thing?
Sony fans have been asking for folders for about 2 years.
What do you mean folder?
A simple folder to put your games in, or a way to, I guess, categorize.
Organize your stuff.
Oh, you mean like pennies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now,
But the worst thing, and especially in today's day and age, and they're not called out, is they don't have second-step authentication. You actually have fans calling for second-step authentication. That should be standard, especially when people are talking about the shit that's going around. Can you implement that? You can't even implement a fucking name change. I mean, seriously.
I would love to be able to change my name.
Dude, Yeah, who wouldn't want that, right? But there's some reason people act like, it's like asking for freaking the world. Like,
I'm
hey.
willing to pay for it.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, Xbox fans have to. Like, you pay for it.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
thought the first time was free.
Well, the first time's free.
Yeah, first time's
free.
Yeah.
I think it's like $10 or something like that.
$10,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, hey, that's very reasonable because because what happens is you don't want to make it free because people will just keep changing their name and trolling or whatever. You know what I mean? So obviously, like, it is good to actually to do that.
Yeah. Like if you name yourself Omega Gazio, you want to fucking change your name. You know
Yeah, you'd want to because all year you've been fucking predicting all these huge AAAs. Yeah.
If it wasn't free, it'd be like Twitter where people change their name every day. Like I get somebody with 0 followers tweet me, "Why do you talk to Tim?"
Hey, I'm sure you get that. Why do you talk to Crap? You know he's racist, right?
That guy's a racist.
I get that all the time. Like,
hey, Showstopper.
I like you, Show, but that dang on Crap.
He's a racist, right?
Yeah, he's a racist.
Man, if they only Jesus, it's like, what do you got to do, right? I mean, what I got to.
Well, I hear that you're going to win Best Racist next year.
Best racist. Best racist.
Yeah.
Best racist sports game. It's sports.
Not if Rocket League 2 comes out.
You're going to best sports/racist. Best sports racist.
You know,
they didn't even see my Halloween costume. I went as Fat Bill Cosby.
Oh,
carrying around
damn.
and I did blackface and everything, man. I mean, that's not racist.
Oh shit.
Is
That's
it?
my week on Twitter.
That show is. They're gonna take your whole picture right there and do
Boy,
it
did
on
I
there,
pick the
bro.
right show to come
Right
out.
on Fat Albert.
Oh, that was even better. I could have been Fat
Hey,
Albert.
send it to Show first. Whoever do it. I need to laugh.
But, have we discussed everything in its entirety?
I think so. I mean, does any?
Oh man,
Fable Legends is probably coming out next year, and if anybody's in the beta, the game is basically almost done. It's fantastic. Play with your friends. It's one of the best looking games on Xbox.
Yes, it is.
Gigantic is still also delayed until
Real quick though, I do have one more thing I want to say. Like, since I noticed N4G, which is a pony safe haven, has kind of went against
Opposite.
Sony. Yeah. Do you guys think that could signal maybe the media finally turning a little bit? Because obviously there's some of the bigger ones that aren't going to, like that IGN shit, but. I see a lot of negativity about this.
How could you not be negativity about fucking 100-foot golf?
Dude, that's Brian
Seriously.
Altano. He goes, this could actually be really cool.
I gotta use that as my screen. I gotta use that as my ringtone. Tim just saying 100-foot golf.
100-foot golf.
Honestly, how could you not be? I mean, if they are stupid enough to bring that to E3, they are absolutely out of their minds. They should stay away from E3. And I'm an Xbox fan, but it's obvious. Keep that shit away from the games. Keep it away. Because you know what? It's not games traditionally, and hardcore gamers do not want that. On all seriousness,
it doesn't show well either.
It doesn't show well, and it just fucks up your narrative. Because you know what? Honestly, that whole thing yesterday, the VR, is why they have the bad press. That was like I could not believe when I saw that, like how it's been like a completely flipped the script from Kinect being the jokes about that to that yesterday. Like you would think that people would have learned, you think that they would have learned and they would have learned, but they haven't. And now they're trying to back a product that does not look like it's gonna be doing well. I don't really see. I see it. I see some people buying
3D
it.
gaming says hello.
Exactly.
Who happened?
No, dude, this thing is the next 3D gaming.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right now, it's off to a real bad start. I mean, I gotta see something.
This is god awful.
Are you still next gen? Are you still working on that game with them for VR?
Sure am. And if your grandmother got a fat ass.
I heard it was Percocet Simulator 7 in VR.
No, upgrade it, man. You don't have to gotten 60 milligrams, baby. What are you talking about?
Honestly, that would be better than 100-foot golf.
Yeah.
Go to 100
Cialis.
milligrams.
Hey, you know what?
Cialis.
They that screen gonna be blurry.
You said Cialis in VR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but,
That's funny.
But at the end of the day, we can get the hell up out of here. I gotta go see my grandmother for real. She's on my heels.
Oh man.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up, man. Hey, Warrior Ward, thanks for hopping in, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Warren.
Thank you guys for rocking out with us. We really appreciate all the love and support. Real talk, man.
Hell yeah, man. It was like 375 at one point watching us.
All
That's phenomenal.
me.
That
All
is, man.
me.
Warward hopped in there like the voice of reason. They probably thought you were going to defend Sony's shitty conference, but then you went and took a shit on that, so. All right, we'll catch you guys next week, man. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up and all
Bang,
that
bang.
stuff.
Peace.